For more on the wildfire evacuation out of Jasper, we've reached Kharisma Mair. She's a Jasper wildfire evacuee, and we've reached her in Valemount, BC. Kharisma, thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us about the moment when you realized this was getting serious?
Well, when we heard the alarm that was saying that time to evacuate, then I guess that was it, So we were all like packed and ready to go. Called up my friend because she was the one giving me a ride and had to wait. And everybody was just all kind of just getting out of houses, people walking back and forth. And yeah, that was it.
You were proactively packing because you could see the smoke, Kharisma. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I was actually I was actually coming from Edmonton yesterday, and then got on a bus, and we were about to enter Jasper. We were just like 5 minutes away when we had to stop by the roadside because there was a smoke happening, and we were all told, oh, we need to get off and see what's going on. That's where we learned that they were trying to put out the fire that was happening, and so we had to wait for a few minutes, and then we were kind of worried because we were just 5 minutes away from Jasper, and and I had already the feeling, being from Jasper, that they're gonna be like an evacuation that's gonna happen, right? So good thing that the parks allowed us to go through. The pass was allowed to go through, and that's where I was able to have a video of the devastation of the wildfire. So I guess I did share it in my Facebook account just to see what was it like when we passed by. So that was a clear kind of video that I took, and I took it inside the bus.
I think we might have just been playing that, but we'll play it again, or we'll play the one that you sent us just to be sure we've got the right one. Yeah, it was the one we were just watching. It's pretty incredible, Kharisma, because you see the smoke, but you see some flames, and they seem like they're awfully close to where you are in that bust, some just on the edge of the road there. What was it like going through that area?
It was so scary. You could hear how I was saying, oh my God, because I know that this is going to happen, but it's so different when it's real, when it's just right there, and we were just thankful that we were allowed to go through. Because, I have my stuff at home. I need to go home. So that was personally my own concern,
Yeah, so you managed to get home. You got your stuff packed up. And then it took quite some time to actually get out of Jasper, didn't it?
Yes, yeah, it did. We arrived at 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I was already packing. My friend was also packing, and I knew that there's gonna be an alarm that will be set up because it was so clear, it was so close to Jasper, right? So sure enough, by around 10, that's where the alarm was set up that said everybody has to evacuate. So that's when, of course, everything was chaos. Everybody was going out, and we had to get friends and all over this, and so that's when we were. From my friend's house, we had to pick her up, and that's where we got stuck, because I think that was the kind of reality that, okay, everybody's going to be out to the road now. So we were stuck there for 2 to 3 hours.
Wow, 2 to 3 hours. I imagine that must have been stressful, Kharisma. We were just listening to Parks Canada talk about how there had been plans in the works if there had been a situation like this to get everybody out of that area safely. And I understand that that's something that you were familiar with too. There were plans for the town if there was an emergency in order to evacuate.
Yes, that's true. I'm an educator, early childhood educator, and this is something that we kind of talked about if in case it happens during the daytime where we have the kids, right? So prior to the previous years, we were talking about how it's going to play out, the children will go first, and then, of course, everyone will follow which way to go out, that kind of played out, and everybody's always reminded how you need to have pack your stuff just in case, because there's always that possibility. But of course, it's different when the real thing happens, right? All of that, like, boom, okay, this is it. This is, it's like when I was watching all the cars line up, I said, wow, this is for real. This is what it's like. Like it's like in a movie.
And it didn't go as smoothly as you thought it would either.
Well, that's kind of the reality, right?
Yeah.
In as much as I do appreciate, like, kudos to all the people, no matter how, I know everyone was not prepared for what happened, but at least everybody was following, So I know there are a few of people that, you can't avoid that. But for the most part, everything was running smoothly. We were just wondering where were the Parks Canada people, but then it turned out that they were right by the street, outside by the highway. So that's where all was kind of the guiding all the people how to get out, right? So yeah, but of course it took us a while to get to the highway. That was kind of the thing, because you could imagine thousands of people like all together wanted to go out, and there was only one exit. So
Yeah.
what can you do,
10,000
right?
people just in the town.
Well, that's my estimation. I'm not too sure about
No,
it.
you're right. You're right. That's what the officials are estimating as well, Kharisma. 10,000 people just in the town of Jasper. So I wonder how you're feeling now. You're in Valemont. You look like you're somewhere. You're on a couch. Hope you're comfortable. But how are you feeling?
Well, I mean, this is the first time I was able to sit down. I haven't had a sleep yet because we were able to get out of Jasper around 3 o'clock. We were driving, so it was like an hour drive, close to 2 hours. And we stopped by at the Robson just to have a rest, because my friend who's driving was so tired already, and we couldn't go through anymore to Valemont. So we had to sleep by the roadside. Kind of just a quick nap. But of course, I wasn't able to sleep. We just waited until it's daybreak and then moved to drive to here to Valemont. And yeah, and just got stuck in some parking lots just to wait if there's any available hotels that would accommodate us.
Well, Kharisma, it sounds like you did exactly what you were supposed to do in that evacuation, taking breaks. So you didn't drive all the way through the night with tired eyes. Kharisma, thank you so much for joining us and telling us about your experience. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too, Kharisma. That's Kharisma Mair. She's a Jasper wildfire evacuee, and we reached her in Valemont, BC.